One of the problems that I've had now for some years is freezing of the water buckets that my goats drink out of, and the place that I keep them in this barn doesn't have electricity run to it. We had a pole put up and a line run, but it wasn't maintained, and so now all we've got is well, just the pole. And so my boys here drink out of these blue water buckets. You can see right there in the distance, and we've had some pretty cold weather lately, and they've been trying to freeze solid. And so I decided, since I had this extra solar panel, that I would install it down at the barn, and I would run some tank deicers with it, and hopefully that'll keep the boys' water liquid for the next couple of weeks while we're going to be getting more cold weather. And with any luck, then I won't have to keep bringing hot water down in old milk jugs to get them to thaw out the water. I'm going to install everything in this area. It's far enough under the roof that I should be able to keep it dry, and at the same time have some space underneath the side of the barn to be able to run the wires for the deicer out into the bucket. I'll link another post, another video that I've done up here in the corner of the screen, and you can see that these are the same kind of connectors that came with the original package of solar panels. This was a second set of cables that I ordered that will be 10 feet long, so that I can reach the solar panel out here into the battery in here. This is the Wanderer from that previous video as well. I went with the same style, same brand, so that it goes with the solar panels that I have, and that previous one was fairly easy to connect. All right, so just like that, we've got the battery connected to the charge controller, and now we've got the solar panel connected to the charge controller. It's very simple, very easy, and so that part's done. Now all that's left is to attach the converter and then attach the deicer to the converter. Excuse me, the inverter. All right, so what I've got here is solar panel set up facing to the south and a little bit at an angle to get the sun for most of the day. Then I've got my battery in a battery box to help keep it safe, keep it from sparking anything. I've got a charge controller hooked up to the battery and to the solar panel. You can see the panel light is flashing, saying that it's charging normally. And then from the battery that I have in the battery box, I've got this charge inverter connected that will act as my plug system. It's got the plugs for the deicer, and I'll plug into that, and that's the electric part of my new setup. So now I've plugged in the deicer, and I'm gonna go around and pick up the water bucket and bring it here and put the deicer in it. All right, so now it's already heating up. You can see the iron in there is already starting to steam from the water that dripped on it. It's got this, it's also apparently melted some of my clip. It's designed to hold the deicer in place. So that should be it. That should hopefully keep at least this one bucket of water fresh and liquidy for the goats once the temperature starts dropping below freezing again, which I don't know if today is going to get above freezing or not. All right, well that's the deicer down in the water. So we'll see. I'm gonna come back out later this evening and check on it, see if there's any ice forming or not, see if that's doing its job. Also, you can see that the battery lights here on the controller have changed colors a little bit, associated with the charge, the pull on the battery. And we can see the inverter working, tell me I got 11.4 volts and about 75% power. So again, that's battery is starting to require the solar panel to help it out. So I don't know how much, I don't know how good a job it'll do for me overnight. This battery, one battery may not be enough to handle the requirements for this deicer, but we'll see. We ought to know tonight. To help judge how well the solar panel did for running the deicer, I have a second deicer that I'm going to use here with the big herd for their water bucket. The difference is, instead of using the solar panel, I'm going to use this long extension cord that I've got. I'm going to run it down here, plug it in, and be able to run this with electricity instead of having to use the solar panel outfit. So hopefully we'll see a good comparison. So we've got the extension cord hooked up to the plug going into my deicer in the water bucket. Come out tonight and recheck and see, compare this bucket to the bucket by the barn and see if one is iced over or not. Right now I've got a chunk of ice floating in this one from before I started putting water in, so we'll also get to see, that's sort of a comparison to the one in the barnyard as well, and hopefully they'll both be de-iced. So you can hear the beeping going on here with the inverter, and don't know if you can see or not, probably not. It's telling me low battery, and what's happened is the inverter runs off of a battery, or runs off of the same battery that works the deicer, and so it drains the battery, and the deicer drains the battery. And so what we have now is a situation where where the inverter is alerting me to the fact that I have no more power, or I'm about to not have any power. So I have to turn things off. Look though, the Deicer seems to have been keeping things thawed. We certainly can see there's no ice. When I set this up this afternoon, it was about 32 degrees, and currently it's 23 degrees. So that's been about 6 hours, roughly 6 hours. So it's had plenty of time to freeze if it was going to. And it looks like the Deicer has worked. I just didn't have enough battery power to make it through the night. So here we have the water bucket with the defroster in it, Deicer, that's hooked up to the extension cord. You can see it's nice and melted. I mean, look over here, and nice and hard, melted. So the answer is the Deicers work. The problem is they require a lot of energy, a lot of battery power. So maybe a solar panel and battery may not be the way to go.